Welcome to REN Festival 2009, held in the platform known as Second Life. I am Elizabeth Spieler, a 3D artist at Virtual Holland. This is my art exhibit titled God's Garden of Thought. This 3D animated sculpture behind me has been built over the past year, derived from blueprints created from the text of a King James Version Bible, circa 1611. The areas of focus were the Garden of Eden, Ezekiel's creatures also known as cherubim, and John's Revelation kingdom, interpreted as heaven. Through these blueprints presented here, I will reveal the discovery as recorded by L. Frank Baum that led to the making of the movie The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, an American national treasure. The focus of this research is directed to the maps of the marvelous land of Oz, which shows without a doubt its link to the stories he must have heard and studied in his Christian faith. In the beginning of the making of this 3D animated model, I was unaware of its link to the Wizard of Oz and called it God's Garden of Thought. My interpretation shows a map of the human heart's emotional states, found through the various stages of life, through the process and degree of experiencing life. The first blueprint we shall see is the Garden of Eden. It is the antitype of this blueprint that is the wonderful land of Oz. It is recorded in Genesis, chapter 2, verses 10 through 14. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted, and became into 4 heads. The name of the first is Pison, that is it which compasseth the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. And the gold of that land is good. There is bdellium, an onyx stone, and the name of the second river is Gihon. The same is it that compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia. The name of the third river is Hiddekel. That is it which goeth toward the east of Assyria. And the fourth river is Euphrates. These rivers compass the whole land, which means that the rivers flow right back into the source that it came out of. The only real entity found with that same description is the human heart. An animated view of this Eden blueprint gives us a clearer picture that there is no such place on earth, for there is no river that originates from a source and flows back into itself. This blueprint was made by reading Ezekiel chapter 1. It speaks of 4 creatures with 4 faces: man, ox, lion, and eagle. Furthermore, it states the spirit is in the center of these 4 creatures. Our role-playing 5th grader, Olivia Spieler, will share her findings as to the interpretation of these 4 faces. Olivia?
The sculpture behind me is above the high altar in Great St. Mary's in Cambridge, Massachusetts. The story behind this can be found on Wikipedia, but in general, I'll take you through each face and its understanding. Around the world, we can find great works of art, paintings, and sculptures of Jesus depicted with these 4 faces around him. These forms of art came from understanding the Gospel's first sentences. This is my study of the 4 Gospels in relation to the 4 creatures of Ezekiel chapter 1. In Matthew, we see that he is depicted as the face of the man, facing south in the creature symbol, which matches the Bible symbol of the tribe Reuben. The Gospel begins with Christ's earthly ancestry and his human nature, representing love. In Mark, he is the face of the lion, facing east in the creature symbol, which matches the Bible symbol of the tribe of Judah. The Gospel begins with a voice in the wilderness, as the lion roars in the desert, representing justice. In Luke, Jesus is the face of the ox, facing the west in the creature symbol, which matches the Bible symbol of the tribe of Ephraim. The Gospel is represented by the sacrificed ox. It begins with the sacrifice offered to Zechariah, representing power. In John, Jesus is depicted as the eagle, facing the north in the creature symbol, which matches the Bible symbol of the tribe of Dan. The Gospel begins with Jesus being the light of the world. The eagle is known to be able to gaze directly into the sun and not be blinded by it, representing wisdom. So Mr. Baum transposed the book of Matthew, representing love, into Dorothy, representing home. Dorothy wants the wizard to help her get back home. He transposed Mark and justice into lion and courage. The lion seeks courage from the wizard. And then we see that Luke and power are transposed into Tin Man and heart. The Tin Man seeks a heart from the wizard. And finally, we see that John and wisdom are transposed into Scarecrow and brain. The Scarecrow seeks a brain from the wizard.
What we see here is a match of the faces of Ezekiel, back to the names of the rivers of Eden, translated by the four Gospels. There are many more details that show this is indeed the same story, but basically they both say that Eden is our heart and the faces are our emotions. The most requested question I get is, why the yellow brick road? When I began building the blueprint of heaven is when I had to create the streets of gold. My partner said, I have some brick texture and you can turn it to gold. This then led me to focus on L. Frank Baum's classic book, The Wizard of Omnibus. This is the level of Eden, which is the antitype of the level of heaven above, hence the yellow brick road. Mr. Baum is extremely efficient in this choice of the word omnibus. You find this link in the story of the Merkabah on Wikipedia, the vehicle of God. The model represents the vehicle all life is traveling about on Earth in our atomic structure. Much of the model has the blueprints of quantum mechanics, which also shows the law of reflection. Furthermore, each of us is experiencing a different story based on the works of all the stories before us, which is the meaning of the word omnibus. Thank you for visiting REN Exhibit 2009, sponsored by the Flemish Ministry of Education at Virtual Holland. We would also like to thank the Learning Experience from Israel, also known as Kids Free University, where they promote the belief education should always be free. Thank you for watching.
This video was made and brought to you by Michelle Radio.